What's the adjustment been like since Friday night when you knew Zach was going to be down for a while?
I mean, the show goes on, right? It is what it is. It's for him, making the most of this situation. Obviously, he wants to be out on the field, but he can't be right now. He's got to get healthy, and we've been through this thing before. He's going to bust his butt in the classroom. He's going to bust his butt in everything he's going to do to get out there because he wants to be out there. So, obviously he went down. Joe steps up. Mike steps up. Chris had a great night. Weren't totally planning on playing him, but then obviously played that whole fourth quarter there, so which was really cool to see. So show goes on.
So by him missing 2 preseason games, I'm talking Zach, and then all the joint practices, I mean, how much does that stunt his early season development?
Like I just said, I mean, for whatever position it is, you obviously want to be on. If you want to get good at football, you have to play football. Like you have to practice football. That can't happen for him right now, obviously. So he's going to go and he's going to attack it the best way he knows how. He went through this last year, unfortunately. He knows what to do, what to watch, what to say, what to do in the meeting. So he's going to make the most of this situation, just like we all are. And so when he's back and ready to go, it's full speed ahead.
Like with the shuffle on the offensive line, right, with Makai being out. What's this period like for you guys now to get those 5 kind of playing as a unit where they haven't had OTAs together, haven't had a lot of time in training camp together?
Yeah, totally. It's just getting out there, like you just said, just kind of starting to gel together. I got all the confidence in the world that the 5 that we put out there, they're going to figure it out by the time we get to Baltimore. But again, just like I was saying with the last question, you get good at football by practicing and playing football. So the more that they're out there, the more that they're practicing together, the more that they're figuring out their standard and their style together, the better it's going to be, obviously, for everybody.
What was your relationship like with Rob Calabrese before he came into your room, and how's that grown now since you guys have been obviously spending a lot of time together these last?
Yeah, I didn't know Rob too well. I knew of Rob because of his time in Denver with a guy that I know well, and Rich Gangarello, and he raved about him so much so that it was. He basically gave me the keys to the car because, of how well he was speaking of him. When I was still in San Francisco, I had a chance to talk and Zoom with Rob before we got out here, and it was a no-brainer. Everything that Rich Gangarello was saying, everything that Wade Harmon, the tight end coach at Denver at the time, he echoed the same stuff, and it's, it's been so true here. He's a great dude. He's a great just guy to work with. He's a great family man. He's a great coach, So, I think the sky's the limit for him.
What has been the dynamic of that QB room? Because between you two and you have 3 quarterbacks that were here last year, which I feel like that's pretty rare in the modern NFL, where you have a whole quarterback room.
Yeah, no, it's been good. We didn't have to get to know each other going into this year like you did last year. Obviously, Zach being a rookie, but I didn't know Mike. I didn't know James Morgan at all. Bringing in Joe, mid-season. And so when we got back here in April, everyone knew each other, and so you could just kind of hit the ground running right there. And there's something to be said about that because it's just the trust factor, in terms of I believe they trust me and that I'm going to do everything I can to help them be the best they can be. And they know Rob's going to do the same thing. And we trust those guys with everything because we know what kind of men they are and what kind of workers they are.
What's the process like getting ready for these joint practices in terms of your conversations with DPs and what you want kind of scripted versus unscripted and getting the most out of these practices?
Yeah, I've done this basically almost every single year, and every year is a little bit different. Dean and I spoke a few days ago. It'll just be good because they're a different front than us. They run a lot more cover 2 than we do. They bring some cover 0, so from that standpoint, I'm not really that concerned about if I call a bad play into a bad coverage, what would be a good play for them? Let's see if we can survive that play, So, but there is also you have to put in the time to make sure that you're giving your guys a chance too, So it was last 2 days have been a lot of game planning, a lot of practice planning. Like I said, Dean and I spoke. He kind of said the same thing you just did in terms of he goes, hey, if you don't want to see something on a particular play, I'm like not really concerned about that. I want to see our guys play fast and go be the best they can be.
With fans specifically, just how has he handled moving from left to right?
George is a pro. I've gotten to know George really well, for these 2 years, and I can't say enough good things about him. Again, off the field, he's a great person, great family guy. he's been outspoken about how he felt really comfortable at left. I was telling him the other day, I said, the crazy part about this thing is the reason we feel like you can go from left to right to guard if you had to is because you're that gifted and you're that versatile, and you'll figure it out, And so yeah, it's going to be a little bit of adjustment because he's been over there for a good part of a year now, but he's been over at right. He's got a great offensive line coach in John Benton, and again, he'll figure it out because he always does.
He had an opportunity to go out of bounds on the play when he got hurt, and Salah said he should have. Just obviously that was a bit of an issue last year too. So as a coach, like, what do you say to him? I mean, obviously, I'm sure the point was kind of driven home by what happened, but like, where are you kind of at with that?
Well, no, it's a good question because you have to. These guys are competitors, and what I said to Zach was, even if this was the first game in the first quarter, you still wouldn't want to do that. Now, you're in the fourth quarter of a game on a 3rd and 5, and you're scrambling to go make a play to go win a football game. That's a whole different deal. But, again, like you just said, because of what happened, he's going to learn from that one, and we just have to keep reminding.
Where's Garrett at in his progression?
Just getting more and more comfortable. Just hearing the verbiage in the huddle. Again, I think last time I was up here, we were almost in with the offense. And so over the last, 8, 10, whatever days it's been, we've been able to kind of hone in on just all the little details and the nuances, moving him around a little bit more than he was in those first 2 weeks, and he's handled it well. He's again, I keep saying it, but just a good dude, a football guy. He sees it really well, and he just has a great feel out there on the field.
One of the issues for rookie receivers, of course, is being able to handle the physical nature of the bump and run. How much of it did he see on Friday night, and how did he handle it?
Didn't see a ton of it because he just didn't play a lot, but he's seen it every day out here, and again, that is the like you just said, that's the biggest adjustment for receivers. It's not necessarily the speed of the game, not even really the huddle and the play calls. It's just it's two totally different games right now, the college game and the pro game, because of all the bump he sees. So he's learning every single day, working his feet at the line of scrimmage, because again, you still have to get from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible because there is a pass rush, so you can't take all day, and he's learning that, and it's again, he'll figure it out. He's talented and he understands it.
As Calvin Jackson shown, he's a guy that's made some plays throughout camp. He had that touchdown in the game. What has he shown you as an undrafted guy coming in here?
Yeah, very similar to Garrett in terms of just the feel of the game is it's very natural for him. I mean, he does stuff that's kind of uncoachable in terms of just doing a little extra on his routes when it makes sense. He understands every position on the field already. You can just tell he puts a lot of time into it away from the building to make sure that when he's out there, he's the most prepared he can be. And obviously you guys saw it on Friday making some plays, and I've been pleased with what he's been doing out there at practice.
The running back row has a lot of talent. Just talk about that, what you've seen from them, and also Breece Hall throughout camp.
Yeah, no, it's you're right. There's a lot of good runners in there, good football players. I think Taylor Embry, our running back coach, does an awesome job with those guys. He learned from one of the best in Bobby Turner, who's a legend running back coach in this league. Has won multiple Super Bowls, and that's what was so fascinating for me, or intriguing, and Salah to be able to bring Taylor in here because he got to learn from Bobby Turner and what it takes to coach running backs in this league. And you got to be tight with your words with it. You got to be disciplined, but you also got to let these guys play, particularly when the Bullets are live on Sunday. So I know he's done that. The guys feel real free. They're on it in terms of the scheme, and they're able to go out there and show what they can do. And to answer your question with Breece, it's kind of like I said a few weeks ago. I mean, he's not really limited in anything he can do. He sneaks up on defenders with that speed and that size combination. And again, for him, it's just coming to work every single day and trying to be the best he can be every single day.
Like you were complimenting Denzel the last time we were here. When he spoke to us, he said he considers himself a starter. But Friday night he gets out there and he has a pre-snap penalty and then a drop right in a row. Like, is that the kind of stuff that has to go away for Denzel to
well, that's just anybody. You can't have pre-snap penalties in this league particular because you get behind the chains, and we know how hard it is to get back on track at times. So that's not just Denzel, that's just everybody. We got a lot of things to still clean up. Again, like I've stated, he is much further along with the offense and his body. He put in a lot of time. Again, I know you guys have heard that a lot, but it shows. He's in great physical shape. He's learning the offense more and more every single day. you can tell as he's breaking the huddle how much more comfortable he is. Yes, he has to clean those two things up, and he will.